Did you ever have the feeling of being empty inside? Like there's a void within you? I think we've all had that feeling, or certainly I know that I've had that feeling. And I think the feeling of emptiness or void normally comes from sin. Sometimes it comes from our own sin. We were pursuing something that we were hoping to bring us joy, and once we've done it and it's sinful, we find ourselves with our hands empty, void inside. Sometimes the feeling of emptiness comes from when we've been hurt by someone else, betrayed, disappointed. But think about this. Sin always creates emptiness in the fabric of reality. Isn't it true that for Judas? Isn't it true that Judas' sin created a void even among the number of the apostles? His sin in betraying Jesus, his sin of taking his own life, it created a void in the number of the 12. Because that's the truth. Sin always creates emptiness. But then the beautiful thing is that God always finds a way to redeem that emptiness or that void. And then that's when the figure of Saint Matthias comes in. Saint Matthias is the one who took Judas's place. He's the one who stepped up to make up for the void that sin had created. And I think today we receive a great reminder in the figure of this apostle of how each one of us is called to fill for the void of sin, to make amends for the void of sin. Sometimes for the sin of our own life. Sometimes for the void created by the sin of others. I was also thinking about how St. Matthias was, according to the first reading, a disciple from the beginning. He was there even when John was practicing his baptism in the River Jordan. But then when Jesus chose the 12, Matthias wasn't first chosen. Did you ever also have the experience when they're picking teams for a sport and you don't get chosen? I wonder if Matthias that day was like, is my name being called for the 12? And then his name isn't chosen, but then God gives him a new opportunity. So today, brothers and sisters, just ask yourself, how can I fill up for the void that sin creates in my life? What emptiness am I called to respond to? Maybe someone stepped down and I'm called to step up for a responsibility, for a position of service. May we be inspired by St. Matthias to do so.